Disclaimer: the insights and opinions shared on this show are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, we recommend consulting with a qualified professional to better understand your unique financial situation. Welcome to the Investors Playbook Show, where our mission is clear: empowerment through financial education. We firmly believe that financial freedom isn't a privilege, it's a right that's available to everybody. Each week, we dive deep into the world of finances, breaking down complex topics and making them accessible and actionable for everyone. As we grow this community, we invite you to join us on this journey. Why tune in? Because together, we're not just learning about wealth, we're building a movement, reshaping futures, and proving that with the right knowledge, financial success is within everyone's reach. It's time to get off the sidelines. Let's go.
Welcome to Investors Playbook, episode 15. I'm Cornell Rowan.
And I'm Deshaun Edwards, and today we got another good episode for y'all. Man, Cornell, we've been doing this for over 3 months now. Solid. we're
Yeah.
going into 2024 with consistency, and I'm proud of us once again. So, how was your week going into this episode? I just want to ask, how's your week, bro? How was it?
My week, man, I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling really good lately, man, just with everything that we're accomplishing. And I feel like we are in our purpose. And I am the progressive type. So if I'm moving forward, I'm happy, man. This weekend I got to relax a little. Most of my weekends are pretty busy. I have something scheduled, but this weekend I was able to just sit at the house. I was able to chill and just do what I wanted to do. So that was pretty cool. How was your week, man?
That sounds good, bro. The work week was it was intense a little bit. We're getting to the end of again the year, so there's always the needing to get things done before the shutdown or the Christmas break. So trying to make sure that things are in place going into next year. Outside of that, same as you. This week, just realizing all of the progress we've made since the beginning of the year with Investors Playbook has definitely been making me feel like we are progressing and moving in the right direction. Um, I like the influence that we're having. I enjoy that we're creating a brand and we're sticking to the brand. So when people think of us, they think of the finance guys, the guys who we can come talk to, ask questions about finance. We have a book out, paperback out, audio is coming soon. The community is growing. It's a lot of positive things happening, and I am excited to see what else happens in 2024 for sure.
For
So,
sure, man. And
mm,
one thing that I'm looking forward to in the new year, I want to hold more vendor spaces, man. I like the way that we connected, especially like when we went to Taste Urban. I like to see more of that in the new year.
yeah, same. I think we should find more vendor spaces. I know that I'm in LA and you're in Atlanta, so there's always the distance, but a little planning, we can make it happen. You know what I
Oh yeah,
mean? Yeah,
because
a little
one of
planning.
us has to fly regardless. So I'm
Exactly.
yeah, that's nothing.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I agree. And we created relationships, right? We got invited to a podcast from that vending and then from
we
that
did
vending opportunity. So I think we definitely need to make sure we lock down more vending spaces in 2024 and just, be on the lookout for just more opportunities. So yeah, I think that'll be good.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Definitely connecting with people and just seeing what people have to offer, even if it's not, you know, per se, an opportunity, like a physical opportunity, just seeing what other people are doing, just chatting with other like-minded individuals. I think that was cool in its own,
Absolutely.
to be honest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, So
100%.
to get started, let's start with these announcements, man.
Yep.
All right, so our ebook, Investors Playbook, a 6-step process to financial freedom, is now on Apple Books. So if you're not a fan of Kindle, because I know I had a few people saying that they weren't too fond of Kindle, but they really wanted to purchase our book. We're now on Apple Books, and we're looking for other platforms to post our books on. So it'll be rolling out shortly, for sure.
Definitely.
Also, if you like our content, make sure to hit 5 stars on a review. And if you feel like there's a way that we could do better, just let us know.
Right. Right. Same with the podcast. If you're enjoying the episodes, download them, share them, so other people can listen. It's easy as clicking a couple of buttons on the screen. So I think that making sure that other people are your friends, your family are tuning in as well. If you think the information is good, yeah, let them know.
It helps us grow our channel and it helps us get our content to more people. So we always appreciate the support. All right. So what's this episode about, Deshaun?
Today we are. Oh, so we did something in our community where we asked a couple of the people. Well, we asked our community what the episodes should be about, and it was unanimous that this episode is going to be 3 books that changed the way we viewed money and investing. So, what me and Cornell are going to do today is break down 3 of the books that we've read. We're going to explain the effect they had on our lives and how it made us view money, investing, finances, financial literacy, all of that. So, this episode is going to be um, us giving you some gems. If you have read these books, that's great. If not, then I would definitely pick them up. But Cornell, what's the first book we got on the list?
All right. So the first book is one that I hold near and dear because this is what started actually both of our journey into financial literacy. It was introduced to me by someone that was already financially literate.
Mm-hmm.
So now, whenever I have somebody close to me, and I just want to see, of course, I want to see everybody do well, but everybody doesn't really think of this same way. I actually present this book to them. I give them it as a gift. I just buy it off Amazon. It's like $12, and I give it to them as a gift, just so hopefully it has the same impact that it had on us for them. So it's called Automatic Millionaire.
Right.
It's
I
called
remember that
Automatic.
book.
I'm
I
sorry.
remember that. I said I remember that book. I
Yeah.
we both read it. Oh man, that was a long time ago.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's been like 9 years now,
yeah.
and
It's
we never looked back.
it's been a
So,
while. Yeah.
so this is the book that actually started our journey. It's written by David Bach. I recommend it to anyone that is that is trying to start this journey. And really, it's about automating your life in order to become rich, in order to become a millionaire, automatic millionaire. So just like you would put your electric bill on auto pay, it's saying why not invest in yourself on auto pay first? You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So it talks about always paying yourself first before you're giving your money to all these companies. And just like a bill, you should be investing or saving, and it should be automatically coming out of your account every time you get paid.
Right. So when it comes to automatically saving, I know now we have a lot of apps, a lot of technology that can make that happen automatically. That's one of the best things that has happened since we started investing is the ability to invest automatically, right? I, and it, remind me, is this book when was this book written? Like, was it a while ago, or like was it before all of these technologies came out?
I
Probably.
I would not be able to answer
Okay.
that.
Only reason I asked is because I'm thinking like, what is he talking about using automation? Like literally using automation, or just
Literally automation, literally.
okay,
So
okay,
it was definitely after that time. I
yeah,
don't know when the book was written, but
not
yeah,
for sure.
he was talking about where you're not even thinking about it. It's automatically coming out your check. So when you get your check, you don't have to worry about the investment part because it's already done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That part, and then also just the investing apps allow you to automatically. allocate the money that you put inside of the brokerages too. Or, when you take money out of your check and it goes to, say, something like Fidelity, that automatic allocation can happen again and saying, all right, I want to use this money to purchase this many stocks of this, and I want to use this money to purchase this many stocks of this. So just increasing that automation as well.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
exactly what he's talking about. He wants it completely out of your mind
Right.
so that you cannot stop yourself from investing. It's automatically happening. It's going
Hmm.
into that brokerage account and you're purchasing whatever securities that you're trying to purchase.
Yeah.
And there were actually some other concepts that I learned from him. Say your payment is $500, right, for the month.
Hmm.
You're paying $250 twice instead of that 500 payment. Instead of that $500 payment, because what you're doing is you are reducing some of the interest by making that early payment, and it adds up over time. Think about how long people are paying a house note,
Right.
right?
30
They're
years
paying 30
most
years.
times.
Most
Yeah.
most most are doing 30 years. So over time, you're knocking off interest each month. It might not seem like a lot today, but over
No,
30
adds up.
years, yeah, it adds up and you will pay your house off earlier than what you would have if you were just making the regular mortgage payments.
So paying $500, which would be the regular mortgage payment one time, and paying 250, but 250 and 250 equals the same 500.
It
So,
equals the same thing.
okay,
Right.
got
But what you're doing is you're reducing the interest
the interest.
earlier.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I see. By
You
making
get what
that
I'm
first
saying?
payment, yeah, you're
Exactly.
taking off that interest, and then the rest is just going to go straight to principal.
Yeah,
Got
I'm talking about concepts that I would have never even thought about, but it seems so simple,
right.
but it's not something you would think about. You're making the exact same payment. Nothing is changing. You're just doing
Yeah,
it at a different time.
yeah, which is reducing the overtime, long term interest that you're paying. See, a lot of
Crazy.
this information is in these books, and,
Yeah. And I'm talking
and
about I'm sorry.
no, no, no. I was gonna say we call them secrets, and it's not a secret. It's there. We don't pick it up. We don't read it. We don't know that it exists. So
You don't
yeah,
think about
you don't think
it.
about
It's obvious, it's in your face,
it. Yeah.
but what you can do is you can learn from people who are more experienced that have already done these things,
Hmm.
like David Bach, and pick up those types of gems that you can apply to your life, and it'll change you. It'll change what you have going on in a positive way.
Right.
But what I do say is I don't just when I read his book, I didn't just take everything for what it was. Of course, you make it your own. You take your own ideas and see how you can improve it. So like
Definitely.
with me, my investing, because I know that I'm disciplined, my investing is not automated. Because the way I think is if I automate it, I'm putting a limit on what I'm doing.
Right.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Because
true.
it's
Automation is usually it's best for people who aren't going to be able to, make those actions and steps themselves.
or that don't want to. So it's not just people who some people just don't want to deal with it.
True.
You
That's
see what
true.
I'm saying? So with me, I'm going to look at it. Every time I get paid, it's the first thing I do. So I don't like doing automation because it places a limit. Like if I say I want to invest $500 every check and I make it automated, then it's just gonna be that $500 going into my account every check. The way I do it is I see what my bills are. I do it in reverse. I do things in reverse. So I see what my bills are. I pay my bills, and then I pay my credit card. Credit card is a part of my bills because I pay with everything in my credit card. So what I do is I wipe my credit card, and then everything left over is going into investments.
Right. So you zero out your checks basically.
I zero it out. Every
Yeah.
last penny is being used every 2 weeks. I don't bring any money into the next period.
Right. And I
Nothing.
think that a lot of people don't have that discipline. They'll pay their bills and they'll see that they have extra money to do whatever they want with it outside of things like investing, and they'll say, okay, I have this additional money now, I can go spend money on this thing on Amazon that I wanted or didn't want. they don't see it as money that they can use to invest. They just see it as extra money, and they don't, because they don't have the things set in place. They don't have the automation. Yeah, that money ends up not working for them. They just see it as money that they can blow, right?
Right.
So
So the way my system is set up is the money that I blew is on my credit card. You see what I'm saying? So the extra
pay
money
that
that I
off.
have is
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with my entertainment money.
right, right.
So because I use my check, the first thing I do is pay off my credit card and I put
Hmm.
aside my money for my bills
Right.
that can't be on my credit card. Like my car note and
Hmm.
stuff like that. It can't be on my credit card. So then when I have the extra money, the only thing I really can do is invest it because I'm paying for everything on my credit card. I never pay cash or with a debit card. So if I have
Right.
leftover money, there's really
Yeah,
nothing else I can do with it.
you got a pretty good system in place,
Yeah.
man. Pretty
Yeah.
good
But
system.
of course
A lot.
everybody should do what they my bad.
No, no, no. What were you about to say? Everybody should.
Do what they works for them. Everybody this my system might not work for somebody else. That's just what I do.
Right,
So
right. And that's when we talk about budgeting a lot. That's what we say. There is no budget that fits everybody. You have to figure out what works best for you, your situation, how much money you're bringing in, your expenses, and then how much you actually want to put towards investing. What your goal is, what your financial goal is. Whatever that is what you need to adjust your budget or your spending or your saving to achieve.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a great way to get started for sure with on the path to being a millionaire. Cause
Yeah.
yeah.
Automate your life.
Mhm.
Pay yourself first before you pay these other companies. So he definitely has a great system. His system is just not for me.
Right,
So yeah. But definitely great information in the book, and it will get you started if you want to initially learn how
right.
to start your journey. All right.
Yeah.
So what
I
about
might
your
have to
book?
go back and reread that one, man.
Oh, it's dope, bro.
Yeah, I might have to go back and reread it.
So what
Um,
about you, bro? What book changed your mindset about money?
so it was a book that I read more recently, called The Psychology of Money, by Morgan Housel. I think that's how you say his last name. But basically, what I've in all of the studying that I've done, all of the people that I've talked to, it always seems like a lot of the issues that people have with money come from a psychology mindset. A lot of times people have ideas about money, they have or misideas about money, misinterpretations, or they have these habits that have been instilled since they were a kid, something they learned from their parents. Um, the idea of not wanting to lose money, so that makes them like stuff it under their mattress or put it in a savings account where it's safe. A lot of this made me decide to pick up this book and better understand what it is about the mindset that makes people kind of feel the way they feel about money. And I'm gonna just talk about the three biggest things that I took away when I read the book, right? Because he goes deep. He talks a lot about like being greedy. He talks a lot about consistency. He talks a lot about compound effect. But I think the three biggest things. The first one is what I mentioned earlier, that your your earlier experiences with money determine kind of how you make financial decisions later on. If you were someone who was always wanting to save money, hold on to money, or you were like safe with it, it'll be really hard for you to do things like invest because you don't trust it, right? You feel like it's something that you don't completely understand. You feel like it's something that could cost you money. So you're hesitant. And instead, you'll go with safe paths, things like savings accounts that have, minimal interest rates or something like that. Or you won't put it in any type of institution because you you're just afraid that your money might leave you, and that's a psychology mindset that it gets instilled with us. Like a lot of things, when we're kids, we have these habits that we have, and it's hard for them to break unless we first address them. So that's one of the first things that he talks about, figuring out how to change the way we have always viewed money or our experience with money. Another thing that he talks about is like how greed, people can get greedy when it comes to money. It's like almost never enough. Um, and how that can be one of the biggest financial mistakes that you can make, right? So he mentions that when people try and get these big gains, I'll just use the stock market for example. When people try and have these big gains, they try and invest in these companies like penny stocks that they think are gonna explode, or they will invest and they'll have the money. And instead of understanding that taking the gains out and investing it later, they'll leave it in there. They'll, honestly hold on to hope because it's greed that drives that, though, right? It's like what is the reason why you aren't taking it's literally right there. Realize it, take it out and use it for something else later, but instead you leave it in the stock market or you leave it inside of an option. What's up? What are you about to say?
You know what I think it is? Like, this has been the case so many times with me, man.
Go ahead.
It's like I'll make a play, then I'm just like, oh, this one's gonna go crazy. It'll go up like 100%. And I'm just like, that's not enough. I have to get rich right now, bro.
Bro,
I,
telling you. I'm telling you.
I have to get rich right now. This is my ticket, man. Like, so I understand, man. I understand.
Mm-mm.
Man.
It's like that has happened to me. I don't know. It's happened to me too many times. I'll just say that. Where it's what do they say? A bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush. I will see those two birds in the bush, and I'll be like, I don't want this. I'm gonna go get those two birds. Throw away the gains because I'm hoping that I'll get more, and end up just losing, everything. And with options, that can happen pretty quickly. But yeah, being greedy is one of those situations where we feel like we have to, like you said, have to have it in that very moment. Like there isn't going to be a tomorrow, like there isn't going to be a next week, next month, next year. And a lot of times that is the ultimate, that's the reason why we end up losing out on a lot of potential money, is
Right.
because we try and hold on to that greed, or we just want more in that moment. So we talk a lot about consistency, and I think that is the much better path is
And and it's funny because there's a flip side to that also, man. So say you're in a stock, right? And then
hmm
you take out so early and then it shoots up because that's happened also.
that has.
You see what I'm saying? So would you staying in that stock have been greedy if you won? Would you be thinking that way if you hit it?
I
You get what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I
It's
get that.
easy it's easy to say you were being greedy when you lose. But if
Yeah,
you had actually won and it worked, would you have been and it went up to 10 million? Would you have said, "Oh, I was being greedy. I shouldn't have did that."
probably not.
You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's easy to say you were greedy when you lost.
That's true. It's easy to say you were greedy when you did, yeah, when it didn't work out for you, right?
Hmm.
But
What if it did?
what if it did? Is that still being greedy? Or is that I don't know, is that being, yeah, that's a good thought. I'm gonna have to think about that a little more, man. You're
Yeah,
right.
people will be calling you smart at that point. Be like, "Oh
Exactly.
man, I should have
You're a
did that.
guru.
I should have did
Diamond
what you
hands,
did."
bro. Diamond hands.
Diamond hands.
You pull out, you got paper hands, bro.
Yeah. Bro, those phrases have gotten so toxic, bro. Especially like diamond hands. Man, people will hold something into oblivion, bro.
Man,
Talking about some diamond hands.
diamond hands, and they will. The thing is, I think they're trying to get other people to
Yeah.
purchase it. Like,
Hey, join me.
Jo- this man, like, bro, your stock has went down like a lot. I'm good. I'm good on that. So.
Oh, you got paper hands.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Man, yeah, that's deep, man.
It is. I think. All right. So you got those two, being greedy and then having our early experiences, like kind of make our suggestions for us as we get older. And the last one is envy, like being jealous, being wanting what someone else has and allowing that to be the reason why you make your financial decisions. Everybody runs their own race, man. In life, everybody runs their own race. The moment you start to look to your left and to your right and you see who is ahead of you and you try to run your race faster than you actually can, you end up tripping
Mhm.
up. One, because you're not looking straight anymore. You're too busy looking at what the other person is doing. And two, you don't exactly know what they did that allows them to move that fast. So you
And you don't even
trying
know
to
if they're
go,
moving that fast. You
yeah,
don't even know if they're moving that fast.
you
You
don't
you
even know
only
if
know
they're
it.
moving that fast.
You
You're
only know what
watching
they're
their life
showing
from
you.
the outside. You're watching their life from the outside. You can't even see what they're doing for real.
Right.
So a lot of time, especially with like social media now, listen, that is one of the that's one of the worst things about social media is that
It's a highlight reel.
the, the compare yeah, it's a highlight reel. The comparison, the I'm at my house and you are in Bali. How come I'm not in Bali? I want to be. Let me plan a trip to like you weren't even thinking
Yep.
about going to Bali or any of that. Having a private like none of this stuff was even on your mind or in. It's not part of your goal, but because you see someone else doing it and you're envious of what they're doing, it becomes now a part of what you want. So
Sometimes
that
I feel like people travel for attention, bro. Like sometimes I don't even feel like they're going for the vacation or to like be stress free, bro. Like it just seems like I don't know. That's just what it seems like. I don't know though.
no, I kind of get what you're saying. I kind of get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
because it's like if I go here and then I post it on social media, I'm going to get all this attention. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? That's
Yeah.
like what it seems like sometimes, but
Yeah.
who
But I
knows?
mean, oh, sometimes people go, they could be, I'm going here, and while I'm here, I'm going to post. It could be both. It could be either, but you're right. You never really know. It does. I mean, sometimes I've seen people's stories, and it does feel like it's like, man, you always traveling. And every time you're traveling, I know exactly what you're doing. Like, you want us to know every single move that you're making. Or it
Yeah,
could just be that they want to post every, I don't know.
it
I
could
don't,
be.
it could be that. But yes, envy, we all have heard the phrase, well, we the phrase of comparison is a thief of joy, and that holds very true because a lot of people will diss their own life once they see what someone else has that they don't. They will find they will poke holes in their life story. They will say, my life is not where I want it to be because it's not where you are. And again, everybody has to run their own race, man.
I
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So that I think was one of the biggest things because of how we can see what everyone else is doing. It's it makes it 100 times worse because we're not just looking at our friends. We're looking at strangers. We're looking at people we don't even know. Celebrities, not it's not even just celebrities anymore. We're just looking at regular people do regular things, and that causes envy. And yeah, that
And see, yeah,
you
I
gotta.
feel like it's the way you take it also because somebody I saw a post like this where it was saying that they're getting off social media because when they see things like it gives them those emotions of envy. But
Yeah,
for me, when I see people doing well, it makes me want to strive harder. You see what I'm saying? It makes me want to go harder. It's like because if I want it, I can get it. I just have to work harder at it. You
yep,
see what I'm saying? Instead of like putting yourself in this mindset where it's like, oh man, they got that, and I'm just sitting here over here, and there's nothing I can do about it.
right.
You see what I'm saying? So
No,
I
I
think,
I get you.
yeah,
I get you. That's but that's the like. that is the difference in mindset, right? Some people
Yeah,
have a competitive mindset. Some people have a shrinking mindset. They see something bigger than them and they get smaller. You know what I mean? And other
yeah,
people, they see something bigger than them and they say, "All right, I need in order to get that, I got to do these things." They don't
yeah.
shrink. They get bigger once they see something bigger than them instead of shrinking and shying away from it. So, I
And
think go ahead.
people want to be, they want to be the best thing in the room, man. And I feel like that's counterproductive, man. I want to be around people that are like that are doing things that I am not at yet. I want to be around people who are on a higher level than me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I can't do anything but learn from them.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here and watch somebody do all these great things and not ask, man, like, hey, like how did you start, man? How did you get this? And some people they'll kind of like they'll gatekeep. You got those gatekeepers, but you have people out here that'll genuinely want to see you win and
Yeah.
just give you free information off the strength. Like since I've started networking, I've ran into plenty of people that have given us advice, and I've been able to utilize it, or we've been able to utilize it with what we have. Because even your friend that does the podcast, right?
Yeah.
When we wanted to interview someone else and we needed a platform, how do we
Easy.
find that
Quick
out?
text message. What did you use on your podcast? Boom. This is what I
Right.
used. So
We're not just gonna sit here and be like, oh, he's interviewing people. We don't know how to do that, and there's nothing we can do about it. No, we're gonna ask, we're gonna network.
yeah. I feel like this year has been one of the biggest years for me when it comes to networking.
That's
Um, I I've experienced that meeting people who genuinely just want to help me succeed, who just want to help people succeed, not even gatekeep because they have no reason to gatekeep. At this point, they've gotten to the level of success where success for them is helping other people succeed. They've they've checked all the boxes and now they're in overtime. You feel me? They're in overtime. They're at the point now where it's just
over time.
yeah, they want to help other people. They want to give them the tools that they used, and so that other people can achieve the same millionaire, whatever financial goal you have. They are creating resources for that now. So, I think that with all of the exposure that I've experienced this year, all of the networking that I've done, they say network is your net worth. They say your level of exposure defines your level of success. I think all these things are true. You have to be around people that are going to motivate you, and a lot of that is mindset because you can be around those same people and get discouraged. Those same exact people that are trying to motivate you can discourage you if your brain is saying, "I shouldn't be here. I don't have what they have. I'm too old. I'm too young." Whatever excuse you create for yourself, like that
I think it's
is
called imposter syndrome.
it is. It's definitely yeah. It's imposter syndrome. You feeling like you don't belong in the room. You feeling like you shouldn't be part of the conversation instead of just learning, instead of soaking up the information and running your own race. They have done it before. You. I'm telling you, a lot of times we see that success and we think that it happened really fast. We're talking about these people have been working on this for decades. So now they're here and they can teach you. Don't think that you're going to achieve this in a year. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. So envy is yeah, that's the last lesson, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're about
Hey,
to say go
speaking
ahead.
on that, taking time and just running your own race, that kind of brings us to our next book, man.
Oh yeah. The last
Yeah.
one. Three.
So this is both of our book. Both of us enjoyed this book. It's written by Darren Hardy. Am I right on that
Darren Hart.
name?
Yeah.
Written by Darren Hardy. The book is called The Compound Effect.
Yeah. Listen, when I first read this book, I felt like I had to tell everybody about it. For real. I was part of a book club when I was reading this book. And this was the book that I brought. Like this was my book that I brought to book club that when we were, choosing. And I said, everyone, you guys have to read this book because the information in here, we all need to hear. All of us, it was a group of men called the Giants Den. I've talked about the Giants Den before. And all the things that we were trying to do, all the goals we were trying to make, we all had, short-term goals, long-term goals, but it doesn't matter how you look at the goals. The compound effects holds true in achieving each and every one of them. Consistency and consistency beats motivation in my book. Consistency beats motivation. And the compound effect, like, you can apply that to so many different things too. You can apply it to working out, you can apply it to finances, you can apply it to business planning, school, whatever the case may be. It was one of those magical books for after I read it, man. I'm like, man, this goes into so many things in life. If people sit down and applied the compound effect or thought about it, it would literally change their lives for real.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So the thing that I like about compound effect is not telling you to do this extravagant thing that's really really hard, right?
Hmm.
It's telling you to make small changes, something that is sustainable. So it's not saying, hey, you need to run 100 miles every day
Right.
and you're just starting off. No, it's saying go out there, start at something, and just continuously get better.
Yeah.
And also it's saying to just, as you said, just be consistent. If you have one bad day, get right back to it.
Yes.
And he made the reference to people will be on a they'll be on a health kick, right? They'll be doing something good every day, then they'll have one bad day, and then they'll just be like, oh, I messed up, I'll start again next week. And then they'll just do bad that whole week. And then he made the reference of that being like you have one flat tire, so you slash the rest of your tires. It's basically that, man. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. You mess up, get right back to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I I don't I wonder what that is. Why what what mindset is that to say I messed up one time, now I ruined, like, it's like you're
I've ruined the
thinking,
weekend.
yeah, because because you missed one, like, workout session, you spoiled the rest of, or you have to start from scratch, screw everything, like, start up, like, yeah, that was a huge one for me because I
Yeah.
used to do that. I used to start something and I'll be going hard for like 2 weeks, and then I'll miss one day and I'm like, dang, it'll discourage me, it would discourage me, and then it would prevent me from continuing the thing that I was trying to reach just because I missed one day of the one day. And that'll be like, man, see, I knew I couldn't do it. I'll start beating myself up. I'll be like, man, how could you skip this one day, bro? You're supposed to be consistent and you missed it. And instead of just saying, all right, I missed one day, don't miss another one.
Get back to it. You're
Get
like,
back to
oh, I missed this day. Now I gotta miss the whole weekend, and now my weekend is ruined. And
it. Oh my gosh, man.
yeah, yeah, man. So
Yeah.
that was a powerful book for me.
Yeah. And then I know this book isn't specifically about finances, but if you use the compound effect, doing something very small over and over again, imagine you putting like $100 into, we actually created this chart. Imagine you putting $100 into the SPY for 10 years. You doing that is where the compound effect can really visually be seen.
And
So,
when he says spy, he's talking about, and it's basically it's an investment. It's in the stock market, so
yeah,
it's basically the top 500 companies in the stock market, and you're putting your money into those. So he's saying investing $100 a month into those top 500 companies
yeah.
every month.
The S&P 500. My bad. Appreciate that, Cornell. I did just throw a acronym out there. But
Yeah,
yeah, the compound effect with the stock market, it shows very easily because if you took that same $100 and you put it on top of itself, in 10 years, it'll be $12,000, right? Did I do my math right? Okay.
yeah.
So
So
imagine going back in time to 2013, looking at the chart of SPY, you putting that same $100 a month, you would walk away with almost $22,000. because the money starts to compound on top of itself. You're
Almost
100.
double.
Yeah, it's almost double. It's almost double. So I mean, you can easily visually see the compound effect work in the stock market. But like you were saying, not just stocks, with working out, with deciding to learn a new
Eating.
language, eating right. It's a lot of ways that once you start to do these small things, they will begin to grow on top of each other. So, I mean, yeah, that was a life-changing book for me. And it doesn't I think the biggest thing is it doesn't have to be huge. You can start with doing 25 sit-ups a day. Just do that for a year. Decide to do something every day for a whole year. You miss one day, it's all good. Do 25 sit-ups the next day. But don't let that one day that you missed stop you from continuing to apply that compound effect. Yeah.
Yep.
Very powerful book.
Dope book. And I appreciate you recommending that to me.
Yeah, it was
So
recommended to me. So
yeah.
I had to share the knowledge, man.
So of course, with us talking about books, we
Let's go.
definitely have to bring up our book. So with our book, Investors Playbook, a six-step process to financial future, it is a very straightforward book. Wait, did I
You
say
said
something?
it's all good. Six-step process to financial freedom.
Oh, got you. Yeah, you know, if I meant correct me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I got
So,
you.
Investors Playbook, a six-step process to financial freedom. So it's a very straightforward book. It gives you the six steps to get to financial freedom. And it's not riddled with stories. I know when I read a lot of these books that are influential, sometimes I don't want to hear so many stories where I can't get to the things I can actually apply to my life.
Yep,
So each of these steps are things that you can apply today. And if you apply them, it will change your life, especially if you're not doing any of them.
right.
So it's centered around finance. And if you take this into account, yeah, you could definitely become a millionaire depending on your age, for sure.
Depending on your age.
And
Depending
when you
on your
start.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think the with all of these books, Compound Effect, Automatic Millionaire, The Psychology of Money, our slogan holds true to each one of them, bro. Even our book. Like
Yeah,
just start. Get off the sidelines.
just start.
Just start. Start applying the compound effect. Start figuring out what it is that makes you make the money decisions. Start automating your investments in yourself. Start your six-step process to financial freedom. Just start. Get off the sidelines.
Yeah, the longer you wait, the less successful you're gonna be. That's just what it is. We don't have infinite amounts of time. We get
Mm,
older, and if you're starting when you're 60, like what do you expect to get out of it? You see
right.
what I'm saying? Even though, like, if you are 60 and you start now, it's better than not doing anything.
Right.
But if you're 20 right now and you wait till you're 60, the the end result isn't going to be as good. It just is
Right.
what it is.
Right. You have less time to apply things, less time to for things like the compound effect to take effect.
Yeah.
Less times for you to grow, not even just your money, but yourself. Like grow your legacy. You have less time if you the longer you wait, like you said, Cornell, the longer you wait, is you're just removing opportunity.
Yeah.
Every day that passes and you don't make a decision, that you don't start, is opportunity going away. Every second that you don't start is opportunity leaving you, literally.
And I hate to say it because I do know people in those positions where
Mm,
I've had someone over 60 ask me what they can do, like, for their retirement because they don't have enough.
right.
You see what I'm saying? You're probably going to have to work us deeply into your retirement age. I don't know how long, but it's that's why you got to start now. You got to get off the sidelines. Don't wait until it's time. You got to be prepared
Yeah.
because retirement is not an age. It's an amount. And
Yeah.
if you don't have that amount, you're not retiring.
Can't retire. You
You
cannot
can't retire.
retire.
You're gonna work for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So people, get off the sidelines, man. Read these books. For real. Get off
get
the
off
sidelines.
the
Read
sidelines.
these books. Get started now. Like, your future is in your hands. No one's coming to save you. You have to make sure that the goal that you have set for yourself, start making steps to achieve that goal now. Even if it is, I want to retire when I'm 40. Cool. In 20 years, like if you're 20 years old, you can do that. If you start now, you can retire at 40, or whatever age you want to retire, right? It's up to you. So, and money is only getting, well, things are only getting more expensive because money is only becoming less valuable, right? Inflation is going to continue to make life more expensive. So if you aren't applying or if you aren't applying the compound effect, if you aren't making or helping your money grow to make more money, you will end up like one of these people who don't have things in place and are unable to do things like retire and enjoy life. And I personally do not want to work my entire life. I don't want to, I want to have freedom at a certain point where I could do what I want to do and not worry about money, not worry about how I'm going to pay my mortgage or how I'm going to purchase groceries. Those are things that the reason I'm setting things up now is so that I don't have to worry about those things later. Man, that was good, bro. That was good. Well, another awesome episode in the books. Peace out.
Out.